Siema, Krzysiu. Wieje na kurwia. Aż musiałem okno przymknąć. Cieszę się, że samochód nie stoi pod drzewem. Dobra. Kontynuuj. Otworzyłem na chwilę okno, to mi prawie firankę zerwało. I kurde, znowu nie wiem, na czym ja stanąłem wczoraj. Przeszliśmy na drugą stronę śluzy. Czy tutaj coś jest? Tutaj coś było. Tu było zamknięte. Tak, już pamiętam. Jakoś tu powoli ogarniemy. Czy to jest w ogóle duże lokacje? Chaty rybaków, nie robaków. Polaki i robaki. Co my tu mamy? Zdjęte huśtawka. Chwała naszym duchom. Widzę, że póki co lokacje bardziej pod zbieranie rzeczy i zwiedzanie.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation everywhere. Yet someone used to live here, laugh here. Thought it was a good idea to build a swing, even.
Co się tutaj stało?
In this yard? Someone thought they could have a summer house in a block obscure, for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago.
Co to jest blok obskur?
A black block, a part of the city left unrenovated after the war, or one that has fallen to gang violence, or has become inhospitable in some other way.
Czarny kwadrat. Dzielnica, która padła ofiarą przemocy gangów. Niezdatna do zamieszkania. Tak, wszystko jasne. A więc ta część wybrzeża to Block Obscure.
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house.
Może zostawili po sobie coś przydatnego.
Yes, for you to pick up as part of the Jamrock Shuffle.
It's not meant as nagging, just an observation.
We should move. I don't think our suspect is in this particular yard. No place to hide. And besides, it's too close to Martinez.
Dobra. Mamy piosenkę na karaoke. Najmniejszy kościół. Jak to szło dalej? Signed Sense.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
No oczywiście, że słuchamy.
You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
Umieść odtwarzacz w bezpiecznej odległości od uszu i czekaj.
Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds you know this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to. This one tells it like it is. This is your tune. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
Czy mógłbym to zaśpiewać na karaoke? Chyba tak.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like a million times. Yup, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
Jaka?
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand. The lieutenant watches you pack up the boombox.
Kurde, oczywiście, że śpiewamy. Może nie potrafimy, ale jeszcze nas to nie powstrzymało. Co my tu jeszcze mamy? Zanim wejdą do środka. Ktoś schował łódź pod plandeką. Niewiele mi to daje. Ciemno-czerwone krzesło. Co tu leży? Pocztówka. I muszka z bonusem dramaturgii. Możemy wymienić krawat. Tak. Ciekawe, czy zaczynam wyglądać trochę jak któryś Doktor Who. Szaleństwo wyobraźni. Plany na lato. Fan teatru. Szkoda, że nie miałem tej muszki, kiedy gadałem z Klasję. Ja nie mam już możliwości zboostować dramaturgii, żeby ponowić rolkę. Chociaż z drugiej strony Wewnętrzne Imperium to ciekawy komentator. Zadbane łódź, proszę. Ludzie tu jednak żyją.
The
Łóweczka.
worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
Momentalnie zrobiło się ciemno za oknem. Zapalę światło.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Mamy też Meneli. Fast travel? Matko. Niestety nie jest to aż tak niezbędne, ale zawsze coś. Magnes, pieniądze. Mi by się przydał magnes. Dobra, jakoś tak z planu to trzeba zwiedzać, nie? Da się tu w ogóle wejść? Nie, nie da się przejść.
A drop in temperature, an easy flow of air, an empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Just silence.
Jak pachniał ten dym?
Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with rain and snow. The road is smooth and motley, craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt, first laid, is grey already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance.
Kto mieszka po drugiej stronie ulicy?
A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4, 1. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware. His boyfriend is on his way home. He brings tins of meat and vegetables with him. Their pockets are heavier with money, but only slightly.
Co z tym przystankiem?
Number 312D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost.
A droga?
Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It is a vital artery of the flow of trade. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away.
Martwy pies?
At the turn. Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle, hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The sound of the sea has grown distant.
Czy to my potrąciliśmy pieska?
The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair.
Swoją drogą, skoro odblokowałem nowe miejsce, to znaczy... Zinternalizujmy odrealnienie. Dobra. Pogadać z tymi muszę. Wszystko muszę ogarnąć w sumie. No. Wkurzy mi trochę, że wystarczy pójść o krok za daleko i znika myśl.
You stop mid-step and
Ale
put
to w
your
sumie jak
hand
w
on the
życiu.
English necktie.
That bottle, Bratan! Just look at that bottle!
Dobra, świetnie. I co mam zrobić?
Oh, I think this is about so much more than cool. Please go talk to him. See what it's about. I'm drawn to it.
Najebany krawat, no proszę. Co jeszcze? Czy obojętny z kim pogadam?
Hey, tequila!
Idioto w spirali katastrof. To chyba ja. 30-paroletni mężczyzna zapakowany w dwuczęściowy dres. Kurwa, to ja.
Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you?
Uściśnij mu dłoni.
So what's happening?
Zaraz, tequila?
Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high concept reality-based adventures proceeding?
Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
I like this guy. You should too. He respects you by calling you your true name.
Nie wiem, ludzie mówią mi, że jestem gliną, zaczynam się przyzwyczajać.
It's good to hear that you're on top of things. Talking about used to, did you know that I used to be a real mover and shaker? Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom Spiral Land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks.
Widzieliście może ostatnio w okolicy rudą kobietę imieniem Ruby?
Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages.
Co tu robicie, panowie?
It's you.
Dobra, nie trafiłem.
Your tequila sunset.
Skąd o tym wiesz?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
Może?
I don't think you're ready for that grade of reality yet. It'd be ill-advised for me to tell you. You gotta go do the intro yourself. Come back when you've been to the motor carriage. Tequila.
He points toward the waterline with his bottle.
Co tu robicie, panowie?
We are saving the world.
Please. Please don't go.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now it's a pirate's life for me.
Do zobaczenia.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
Czyli jak znajdziemy nasz powóz motorowy, którym chyba potrąciliśmy psa, będziemy mogli wtedy porozmawiać z nimi o nas, o tym, że tu byliśmy. Międzysolarne spodnie. Są pierwsze spodnie, które nie podbijają mi elektrochemii, więc je chętnie założę.
These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party.
Lubię zwykłe, normalne rzeczy.
I know you do. These inter-Isolari pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. No one will call the moral intern on you like this, that's for sure. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be. Makes sense? This is what wearing boring office trousers does to you.
Spodnie w sam raz dla mnie. Tutaj byłem. Z dzieciakami jeszcze nie gadałem. I starszą panią. I nie wchodziłem tutaj. I w ogóle o 21:00 muszę iść przesłuchać świadka. Siema, dzieciaki.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
Hej, dzieciaki, widzieliście może w okolicy jakichś złych ludzi?
What bad people?
Jaki głos?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is gonna crack the case.
Hej, gdzie jest wasza mama?
The kids don't reply, absorbed in their little game.
Wyglądacie identycznie, chłopaki.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
Tak właśnie to powiedziałem.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. The rock kicker was just being shy, but now he's enthusiastic again.
You're bad with kids.
Tak, nie radzę sobie.
Don't worry, everyone is. How about we do some police work now? We're not getting anything here.
Pa, dzieciaki, trzymajcie się. Starsza pani? bridge.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Skąd pani wiedziała, że tu jestem, jeśli pani nie widzi?
I still have a golden ear. Come, come.
Nachyl się do przodu.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Trouble? Say the second thing, Bratan. Shows you got style.
Nie będę słuchał krawatu. Nasz krawat jest jebnięty. Tak jak powiedział, jesteśmy policjantami. Nie sprawiamy kłopotów, tylko je rozwiązujemy.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
Zaraz, ja tu kiedyś już byłem.
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another, locked himself in that woodshed over there. He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place, somewhere more quiet.
O jakim złym omenie mowa?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
Jestem absolutnie złym omenem. Dokładnie to powtarzam wszystkim wokół. Koniec nadchodzi.
You're not. No one around here considers us an ill omen. People would have told us.
Maybe they are afraid.
Czemu?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Widziałam może pani na wybrzeżu rudowłosą kobietę imieniem Ruby. Przecież ona jest ślepa. Jak mogę ją zapytać, czy widziałem? Ale dobra. Widziałam może pani na wybrzeżu Ruby?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Rozumiem, ale wie pani, o kim mówię?
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works. And it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
To tak jak wtedy, kiedy jeden facet zatrzasnął się w szopie. Musimy po prostu pomóc jej wyjść z zamknięcia.
No, it's not like that, man. With him we called you. Right now, you just arrive by yourself. Like a raven plucking at the window glass.
Enough of this. She better start talking right now.
Rozumiem, coś pani wie, ale postanowiła nam pani tego nie mówić.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
Ask her about lodgings.
Gdzie mógłby się tutaj zatrzymać ktoś spoza wsi?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
Nie wiem, czy stać mnie na kolejne miejsce noclegowe.
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
Nie wiem, czy funkcjonariusz moru powinien przyjmować darmowy kwaterunek.
Oh, don't. It's your choice. No skin off my teeth.
Nie chcę darmowego pokoju, to niewłaściwe.
Suit yourself. But should you ever need shelter, remember old Isabel and her shack by the sea.
Dobra, czyli jak nie będzie nas stać na Whirling in Rags, to pójdziemy spać w chacie rybackiej. Co jest w tej wsi rybackiej?
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist.
Co ma pani na myśli?
This is pretty much a non-place. A gap, a blank spot on the map, just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
Coś tu musi być, proszę mi powiedzieć.
Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox.
Between here and Jamrock, a dusty sea of old trees, all covered in industrial soot. Small houses under them, an overgrown park.
Ospa? A co to?
An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinderblock houses, shacks as far as the eye can see.
Co się stało ze szpitalem?
The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now.
Kto jeszcze mieszka w tej wsi?
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east, but they're away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them.
A tak, spotkałem tu kilku pijaków.
I'm sure you did. Nature keeps them in rotation. A new face pops up every now and an old one disappears and is forgotten. This is who we are.
Relax, you're not a new face. She doesn't mean you. You're an outsider. And a cop, remember?
Da się tu zarobić trochę pieniędzy?
Here? For you? No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women and then forgot about.
Rozumiem. Jest inny temat, który chciałbym poruszyć.
She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
Co jest dalej na wybrzeżu?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time even.
Czemu jest opuszczony?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
Mam wrażenie, że coś pani pomija. Co jeszcze się tutaj dzieje?
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting even through the nights. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Perhaps the mysterious music is somehow connected to the case. A Rusalka or a half-demonic Apsara singing.
Co jeszcze jest na wybrzeżu?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
No to co w końcu? Apartamenty czy elektrownie?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara.
Jest jeszcze coś wartego uwagi?
Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
Kto chciałby przychodzić tutaj na targ rybny?
No one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place, back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else.
I to tyle? Musi być na tym wybrzeżu coś jeszcze.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
Proszę opowiedzieć mi coś o sobie. Kim dokładnie pani tu jest?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr.
Proszę mi mówić, Harry.
Why, I guess I will, Harry. Aye, it just rolls off the tongue. I used to know a Harry. Strong lad, but dumb as a rock.
Co się z nim stało?
He did too many narcotics. So many, he fell off his boat and split his skull on a buoy. Folks who saw it say his head cracked open like a melon. Nasty, nasty.
Aha. Ona jest jedną z tych, których podpisy musimy zdobyć dla Everarta. Czy ja chcę to robić? Czy to pomoże mi odnaleźć moją broń? Zostałem poproszony o zdobycie pani podpisu pod jej kopertę.
Eh? What's this about? Come now, I can't read all this scribble. Tell me what it says.
Everard chce zmienić część wsi w niewielkie centrum młodzieżowe.
Huh. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. Have you asked Lillian about this? I won't even consider signing till I know she's on board.
Zaraz, a gdzie ją mogę znaleźć?
She's right over there. The dark-haired woman, leaning over the railing.
W takim razie pójdę najpierw spytać ją.
Yes, you do that. Can't let fat Mr. Clare down now, can you?
Do widzenia. Idę stąd. Też jakoś tego nie czuję, żeby zbierać podpisy i wysiedlać ludzi. Nastraszony, wypchany kuropatwa. Czy mogę ją dać Gartowi, żeby się przestał fochać? Siema, młody.
Hello, mister.
Młoda.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Znasz kogoś imieniem Ruby?
Luby.
Lubi? Lubi?
Luby. My mum tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or like, sometimes I can, but then
Kids.
Gdzie są twoi rodzice?
My mum's outside, and I don't really know about my dad.
Aha. Czy bliźniaki na zewnątrz to twoi bracia?
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
Są tacy sami, prawda? To samo powiedziałem.
They look identical.
Co to? Pokrzyj wypchanego ptaka, którego zdjąłeś z sufitu. A tak, pokażmy dziecku ptaka.
It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replace the broken
O
screw
tym
you
właśnie
almost
myślałem.
certainly broke.
Może Gart będzie bardziej przychylny. Mogę ją wziąć? Znam kogoś, kto bardzo lubi wypchane ptaki.
Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
Co tam trzymasz?
It's Lammy! He's my friend.
Jagnuś.
Sort of. Like,
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Jagnuś jest chyba mięciutki.
yes. Very soft.
Przyciśnij do Jagnusia policzek.
Isn't he soft?
O. Sweet. Do widzenia.
Bye!
Dobra, czyli mamy ptaka dla Garta. Teraz tak, w tej chacie było kiedyś... schronienie mordercy. Ale chodzi grzejnik, więc ktoś tam siedzi. Pewnie Ruby. I mamy nowe buty z bonusem do percepcji. Ależ wyglądamy. Dzień
Hi,
dobry.
officer. Anything I can help you with?
To zależy, gdzie właściwie jesteśmy.
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Czemu?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
Dziwna opcja. Jak zawsze jestem prawodawcą.
You've graduated to Lawbringer now?
Men with authority have their quirks. Comes with never being second-guessed about anything. So what brings you here,
Prawo
Lawbringer?
mówione półgębkiem. Prawoszczęk. Mam pytania. Pierwsze, jak ma pani na imię?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Ładna broń. Wskaż mieczu jej pasa. Wiąże się z nim jakaś historia?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks mostly.
Rzeczywiście jest imponujący.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
A po co to zastraszanie?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Tak, dlatego ma 3 nieślubnych dzieci. Czy mogę pożyczyć ten miecz?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I use to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave.
Czemu więcej kobiet się nie zbroi, skoro to takie skuteczne?
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
That does not go for real men. It does not go for you. Show her. Show her the wonder.
Jaki cud.
Coach means the expression.
O Boże, naszą minę? Proszę spojrzeć, wskaż malującą się na twojej twarzy minę.
Not bad.
Podoba się pani?
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
Tak, nasza piękna mina.
The traces of her laughter are still there. in her eyes, fading fast.
I gdzie są teraz wszyscy ci mężczyźni?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Zaraz, ale czemu? Skoro są zakutymi łbami...
Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gdzie jest teraz pani mąż?
Gone.
Dokąd?
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
Och, zamilknij, poczekaj, aż zacznie mówić dalej.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Dobrze jest pogodzić się ze stratą i ruszyć do przodu. Życie musi toczyć się dalej.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
No chyba nie.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Z kimem obok jest trochę niezręcznie. Nie znasz jeszcze dobrego miejsca z Bady Wybrzeża. Myślę, że spróbujemy, jak faktycznie będziemy mieli szansę. To pani łódź? Wskaż odwróconą do góry dnem łódkę.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Słoneczne dni. Wyciągnij rękę na deszcz.
Aye. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with sunny days.
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids.
There's a moment's silence. She looks at the rain streaming down the yellow belly of the boat.
Jak pani myśli, kiedy łódź będzie gotowa?
In time, when the sea turns and the winds settle, she will be ready.
Waves wash the sand. A skiff moves across the mirror-smooth sea, far away from here. A lone passenger, a fast sloop in the distance. White sails.
Szukam kogoś, może będzie mi pani w stanie pomóc.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
Szukam podejrzanej, która mogła zatrzymać się tu w okolicy.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Bardzo niedawno, jakoś kilka dni temu, mogła tu przybyć w piątek.
Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Naprawdę?
Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
Szukam zaginionych kryptozoologów.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
Ludzie szukający zwierząt, w których istnienie nie wierzą naukowcy głównego nurtu.
Aha, like snowmen.
Bałwanów? Bałwanów? O tych nic nie słyszałem.
2 odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Zaraz takich tam?
Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men burning rhinos. You get the picture.
Gdzie się udali?
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
Szukam męża z klasy robotniczej.
Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle class ones either. Could do with some landed gentry, but apparently they don't make those anymore.
To nie dla mnie ten mąż. Szukam go w imieniu jego żony.
I wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working class husband. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
She seems genuinely sorry for not being able to help you.
To już wszystko, nie szukam na razie nikogo innego.
Really? Are you sure you're not also looking for Nadia Harnancourt? Or Ignis Nielsen? Or the great lost city of Ace under the waves?
Wiele rzeczy szukam, co?
A lot of stuff.
Na to wygląda, ale dla mnie nie wydaje się to wiele. Mógłbym zrobić więcej. Może w pani życiu też kogoś brakuje?
Oh, there's plenty missing. But that's too much for even an eager terrier like you to handle. Although you seem very thorough. Tell me instead, is there something else I can help you with?
Zostałem poproszony o zdobycie pani Nie, najpierw czym się pani tutaj zajmuje?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
To wystarczy, żeby się utrzymać?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Ciekawe. I co pani dotąd znalazła?
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely. Mines. Mines. You need mines.
To chyba złe miejsce, czemu pani nie odejdzie?
Go where? The fish are plentiful here and we get enough orders to get by. It's not great, but it's something.
Po prostu dokądś, daleko od tego całego smutku.
People imagine picking up and finding something better is an easy solution. But how is that supposed to work when all your time and energy goes to staying alive? You have almost nothing to set aside to actually fight your way out.
Hordes of wild, homeless people roaming the lands. Nomads scattered across an endless plain. In a dystopian world where tear is the only valid currency and people eat each other to stay alive.
I don't mean to complain about my pauper life. We are warm and fed here and... I don't know. There's just something about this shithole.
A sudden gust of cold air blows in from the sea. The waves flow and ebb. Around you, the fishing village takes its slow and steady breaths. Its many wooden structures, worn by bitter years of salt and storm.
Czemu komukolwiek miałby się tu podobać?
It's home.
Zostałem poproszony o zdobycie pani podpisu.
Were you? This says by signing I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the union building?
Everard planuje zmienić część wsi w centrum młodzieżowe.
What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that
Na co dokładnie?
Everard and the union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess union members have children too.
Jestem świadomy, że to jest jakiś przekręt. Więc jak podpisze pani?
Aye. Why not? Fine. Here you go.
Zaraz, czemu pani nie podpisała?
I shouldn't have.
No to w końcu Everard, więc to pewnie błąd.
Probably, but it is a youth centre and I have children. Got to give them something else to do. They're cute and small now, but they're growing up fast. I had my first drink when I was 11 because I was so bored. Anyhow, you also need Isabel's signature. If it's a bad idea, she won't sign. You'll find she's a tougher nut to crack than me.
Dobra, do zobaczenia. Zobaczmy, co jeszcze tu mamy. Drobniaki. Ktoś stoi na molo.
I'll just keep the cord
Joyce.
in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the
Co
pier.
ty tu robisz do cholery?
Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Dzień dobry pani.
Hello, detectives. It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
I jak się tu pani podoba?
How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
Zapach soli i psiego gówna.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
Proszę spróbować się nie bać. Tak po prostu wygląda prawdziwe miasto.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
Above you, there forms a quilt of alto-cumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
Tę wyspę?
No, they're in Celindian, Isola.
Nie mówiła mi pani, jak ją odkryto.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
Jestem gdzieś w tych pozostałych 45%, ale sytuacja się poprawia.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Proszę powiedzieć teraz, mamy czas.
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
This story she will tell only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with, while you're hot in pursuit?
Mam do pani więcej pytań o rzeczywistość.
More lessons in basic reality?
Aha,
My favorite
to
part
mam
of the day.
zablokowane.
Go ahead, ask me anything.
To na razie wszystko.
Glad to have been of
Dziękuję.
assistance.
To na razie wszystko. Musimy znaleźć jeszcze nasz wrak. I skoczyć do palacza. Już mam 21 prawie. Ale zanim tam pójdę... Faktycznie to jest wrak naszego samochodu. Przypał trochę. Kanister na paliwo.
A banged up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Elysium ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. It must be cold and lonely down there, in the icy water.
To tutaj prowadziły ślady na placu.
It appears to be so.
Przyjrzyjmy się temu.
I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water.
To my jesteśmy tym chuliganem.
Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea.
Przesuń dłonię po zimnym metalu.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists.
Jakiej firmy jest ten powóz? Widzę jakieś logo?
The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out. But you do see a monkfish float by.
Od jak dawna tam jest?
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Proszę, zdaje się, że podróż Jacoba Irwa została tu gwałtownie przerwana.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Kolejny przypadek triumfu pojemności silnika nad ilorazem inteligencji kierowcy.
Yes. Clearly, this is a triumph. I'd say the vehicle has been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Co powinniśmy zrobić?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Jak długo potrwa, zanim przyjdzie odpływ?
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Czy nie zniknie mi wtedy... I tak nie mam innej opcji. Usiądź na huśtawce i poczekaj. Czy nie zniknie mi wtedy świadek z mieszkania?
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. The hinges creak under your weight, dangerously so. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea.
Dramaturgia, zagwiszcz melodię.
Spit flies from your mouth to your moustache, your chest, the
Nie
ground
potrafimy
before you.
gwizdać.
No sound though.
Raining heavily here, Chief. Mind keeping it down a bit?
The lieutenant must think it's rather funny. He smiles and quickly turns away.
Dmuchaj dalej.
That's right. Just keep at it. It will come to you.
With his lips puckered, the lieutenant lets out a beautiful melodic trill that puts even the insulindic thrush to shame. You hear the sound echo on the large body of water. Clouds race across the spring sky, and suddenly you just feel better about everything. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
Wolałbyś przez godzinę siedzieć w mrowisku, czy stać w morzu pijawek?
Well, historically, leeches have been used to prevent and even cure many ailments.
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Myślisz, że znajdę kiedyś swoją broń?
God, I hope so.
Tak sobie myślałem, że gdybym odpowiednio długo zdrowo jadł i ćwiczył, mógłbym zmienić sam siebie w żywą broń. Wtedy nie potrzebowałbym nawet pistoletu.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Możesz już rozpoznać markę?
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a Coupri, Model 40. It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people. You know, those kinds of people.
Zmruż oczy i powiedz, czy na boku jest numer?
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
Boże, nie.
I'm sorry, Harry. I'm so sorry.
41. Precinct 41. A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you.
Nie wiedziałem, że to my.
Oh God, Harry. Oh God, Harry. What did you do? No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Boże, to mój. Wjechałem swoim wozem do morza.
I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you drove your police motor carriage into the sea after you jumped across the canal.
Może kogoś ścigałem.
Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk.
Probably. Try definitely.
Jak go wyciągniemy?
Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point.
Nie przyjmą mnie już po tym z powrotem, co?
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
People, yes, but not you.
Czyli, że po prostu tam będzie.
I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off.
Mogą go jeszcze naprawić.
That is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy a new one. Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this.
Będą na mnie wściekli, co? W 41. komisariacie.
Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
Odznaka, broń. A teraz to...
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything. There is also a fourth thing you've lost.
Czwarta?
More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined. Lost forever into the deepest of seas.
No nic, przynajmniej mogą sprawdzić, co jest w środku.
Yes, let's go take a look.
Jamais vu derealization. Jamais vu, the opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
Czyli będziemy mieli nowy dialog z Joyce. Wszystkie limity nauki zwiększono o 1. Czy to oznacza, że mogą zboostować dramaturgię i powtórzyć niektóre rolki? To akurat jest bardzo dobre. Retorykę, konceptualizację, matematykę wzrokową. Nie no, super bonus. Odznakę mamy. Mamy odznakę. W końcu. I marynarkę. To już jest olbrzymi bonus. Gdzie jest odznaka?
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
Znalazłem swoją odznakę.
At least something good came out of all this.
Przyjrzyj się odznace.
Encased between two durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information. and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and, in the lower right corner, your precinct.
Spójrz na zdjęcie.
The man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. Good choice. A newer photo would look different.
Jak stare?
8, maybe
A
10
nie, to
years.
był jak
The guy
stary.
in the picture is rather good-looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns.
I puszcza oczko. Czemu?
What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now. It looks better on him because he isn't in as much pain while producing it as you are now. Although there's already a hint of that pain, certainly. Don't be fooled. The bad times have already begun. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Nazwisko Harrier Dubois.
Harrier. That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't.
Chwila, co to w ogóle za imię? Harrier.
It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
No dobrze, w takim razie jestem Harrier Dubois.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you officer when he's angry with you, and detective when he's not. The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information.
Stopień.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
Co to jest porucznik podwójny Gefreiter?
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant.
A podwójny Gefreiter?
The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're W. Freighter.
Odmówiłem?
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's decomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant.
Heavy-duty case-solving machine.
Co to jest dekomptaż?
Decomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens' militia. It means counting down to twos. The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kings.
Jakich drobiazgów?
Kings like satellite officers and the additional freighter rank I already explained.
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
Czekajcie, krótka przerwa. Muszę gdzieś zadzwonić szybko. Zaraz wracam. Dobra. Lecimy dalej. Czyli znosisz wszystkie moje odpały, dlatego że mam wyższy stopień? Dobra, nie wspominam o tym. Dziękuję, że mi to wszystko wyjaśniłeś.
My pleasure.
Spójrz znowu na dokument.
Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It reads.
Dobra, schowajmy odznakę na razie. Jeszcze wrócimy do tej interakcji, ale najpierw chcę wrócić. Pieniądze. Chcę wrócić do wybrzeża. A dokładniej do tego świadka z balkonu. Ciekawe, czy jeszcze mogę, czy nie jest za późno. Nie myślałem, że będę musiał tyle czekać, aż odkopię samochód. Ale to nic, damy radę. Trasa ogarnięta. Jeszcze nie wszystko stracone. Mamy nawet ptaka dla Garta. Szkoda, że nie ma w opcjach możliwości włączenia ciągłego biegu. O, jest. Jak miło.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight. And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Zrozumieliśmy twoją podpowiedź. Znaleźliśmy klucz pod kamieniem.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
Tak, taki jest mój cel.
Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Czy dzisiaj jest piątek? Czuję się, jakby był piątek.
Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather.
Czemu miałbym chcieć spotkać twojego przyjaciela?
Trust me, you do.
Dobrze, porozmawiam z nim, ale najpierw chcę porozmawiać z tobą. Mam masę pytań.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
Ale dopiero co znowu cię znalazłem.
Just look at it. It's a beautiful night. Who's going to stay in on a night like this?
He's right. Only losers go to bed early. Time to break out the booze.
Randka z wódą, matko.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body.
Tylko jeśli obiecasz, że jeszcze porozmawiamy, to ważne.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words. It's laughter.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
Mamy nowy poziom. Jest pod pewnymi względami tak inny, że aż ciężko to nazwać.
Different, of course.
Aha. Jest coś tak tajemniczego w tym, jak mówi, jak się porusza.
Something so mysterious about the way he talks.
Bardzo tajemniczego.
Very. Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. He's...
Dobra. Na razie nie rozdaję punktu. Pójdę jeszcze do klasy. Rozejrzyjmy się tutaj. Samarski kapelusz. Szlafrok imprezowego smoka.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Niedzielny przyjaciel. Aha.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stability on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot. Yeah, let's fuck with him. Who does he think he is? Assisting you?
Pokaż mój jedwabny szlafrok, zanim do tego przejdziemy. Proszę mi powiedzieć, gdzie zdobył pan ten przepiękny jedwabny szlafrok?
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, I think it's a little culturally insensitive, but the material is great. Sadly, the shop is now out of business. That's really all I can tell you about it.
What was that? You were supposed to fuck with him, not compliment the decor. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
Co robi w Martinez urzędnik taki jak pan?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
No dobrze, ale co pan robi tutaj w tym mieszkaniu?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here.
Czyli po prostu przyjeżdżasz do swojego kochanka.
You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
A więc jest pan jakimś biurokratą?
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Inter.
Czym jest ta społeczność międzynarodowa?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
Czym jest the price stabilité?
It is the most important thing.
To mi nic nie mówi.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Nie, 2% inflacji. Hehe. Poniżej 2%? Czego?
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
W ogóle nie odpowiada pan na moje pytania.
The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Dobra, jasne, poproszę tą ulotkę.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
Słyszałem wcześniej o tym Moral Internie, ale chciałbym wiedzieć więcej.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the Coalition.
Och, czyli my pracujemy dla Moral Internu? Nie brzmi to aż tak źle. Czy wersja drastyczna, czyli mam rozumieć, że jesteśmy dziwkami Moral Internu? Nie no, weźmy łagodną.
There are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Odwróć się z powrotem do niedzielnego przyjaciela. Jest pan moralistą?
But of course,
Ale dlaczego?
because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
Odwróć się do Kima, poruczniku, a ty jesteś moralistą?
Me? I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Revachol.
A very moralist answer.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
Martinez nie wydaje się ani szczególnie normalne, ani stabilne.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
A co z resztą Revacholu? Jest częścią tego normalnego świata?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Jest trochę tak, jakbym przy każdej rozmowie z ludźmi wybierał odpowiedź D, żadne z powyższych. Czy to właśnie moralizm?
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
Zwykle jest najnudniejszą.
Not boring, my friend. Responsible. Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed, an ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? It looks to me like you are. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Proszę mi opowiedzieć o Sur-la-Clef.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clef is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Co czyni Revachol ulubieńcem Sur-la-Clef?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clef. Its language, its
Sur-la-Clef.
people, its cuisine even, or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clay's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Zjadłbym pulpeciki, zwłaszcza z Ikei. Smaka narobili. Dość już o biznesie, porozmawiajmy o czym innym.
Whatever you wish, officer.
Może opowiedzieć mi pan o swoim przyjacielu?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
Co to jest Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
Co ma pan na myśli?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
Czym jest ten epis, o którym ciągle pan mówi? Siema nieziemski. Co tam, jak tam dzień mija?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations.
Kiedy
It began as a
dostawa
unified
nieziemski?
system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see. It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
No dobrze, ale co to oznacza?
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole.
Dobrze, jasno. O jakim kolejnym poziomie pan mówił?
A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Będzie tam tak jak tutaj?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Czy Revachol stanie się częścią episu?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Nie mówił pan, że kraje kandydujące nigdy ostatecznie nie zostają członkami?
No, no. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
Jak wy się w ogóle zaprzyjaźniliście?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
Nie no, przyjaciel. Bardzo bliski. Dużo rozmawiają w łóżku. Kurwa, nieziemski na X-komie zamówiłeś? Najgorsze miejsce, gdzie można coś zamówić. No to pochwal się chociaż za ile. Zamówiłbyś na Amazonie, miałbyś taniej i miałbyś dostawy dzisiaj. Po pierwsze, jestem prawie pewny, że X-com kupuje na Amazonie i odsyła. W sensie przepakowuje i wysyła dalej. Bo zawsze zauważyłem, że zawsze jak zmieni się cena na Amazonie, to X-com zmienia ceny. O czym pan mówi? Nikt się w taki sposób nie zaprzyjaźnia.
Au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
Wciąż nie powiedział mi pan, kim on jest.
Sorry, who?
Pana przyjaciel, balkonowy palacz. Przed chwilą o nim rozmawialiśmy.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
No dobrze, ale jak ma naprawdę na imię?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
A więc wszystko, co może mi pan o nim powiedzieć, to, że przybył tu studiować sztukę.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Tak, sztuki piękne. Jakich sztuk?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
Co pan robi sam w jego mieszkaniu?
I'm just enjoying the view.
Jaki widok na zewnątrz? Jest ciemno.
Listen.
A baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
Czyjeś dziecko płacze?
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay.
Co z nią?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
Prawdziwy polityk, naprawdę. Pytałem o pańskiego przyjaciela.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
Chciałem porozmawiać jeszcze o czymś innym.
I'm all ears, officer.
Nie wspię na razie klasję. Czy był pan świadkiem tego linczu?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
He didn't see the hanging. He saw the little show staged by the Hardys. Let him talk. He may know more than even he knows.
Jeśli pan może, proszę zacząć od początku.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
A zarzuć nieziemski na czat ten link do strony z tymi słuchawkami na X-komie. Luknął tylko jedną rzecz z ciekawości.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood I should not be seeing this.
That lines up with previous testimony, doesn't it? Well done, detective.
Dziękuję panu, chyba rozumiemy. Coś jeszcze zwrócił panu uwagę?
Only that there were about 8 or 10. I couldn't make out anything. It was so dark. And it was quiet. Quietest lynching I've ever heard of, let alone heard. But I suspect you knew that already. I can't say I'm surprised. The fine reputation of the men and women serving in the RCM is well deserved.
Dziękuję, mam już wszystko, czego potrzebuję. Jeszcze tylko się sprawdzę. Tego questa w ogóle nie mogę ruszyć. Kuno się nie odezwie do mnie. Nienawidzi mnie. Ośmieszyliśmy się tak bardzo, że nie ma szans. Zapomniałem wziąć podpis od Izabel. Ale to nic, po kolei. Zabierzemy ptaka do Garta. Pogadamy z klasy i zaśpiewamy karaoke. Nie, nieziemski nie mówi, że coś nie tak na stronie. Po prostu ciekawi mnie, nienawidzę nowego layoutu Discorda na telefonie. Ciekawi mnie jedna rzecz, a mianowicie czas dostawy deklarowany. Dziękuję, mam już wszystko.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Zaraz, ale dlaczego nie możemy porozmawiać później?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
Nieziemski, jak coś, to deklarowany czas dostawy jest, że najwcześniej w poniedziałek. Także good luck. Z ciekawości luknę. Szybciej byłby, co prawda, na kąpiel. Nie chcę mi się przeglądarki włączać. Jak zamówisz na Amazonie, masz dostawy do soboty. Chociaż darmowo dopiero w środę, więc... Czy ja chcę wsypać klasję? Nie, na razie nie. Nie wiem. Ciężka decyzja. Chciałbym z nią najpierw pogadać, a boję się, że ją odstrzelą. Twoje zdrowie nieziemski. Dziękuję, że mnie pan uprzedził, lecz moja praca tutaj dobiega końca.
Of course. I'm glad I could help.
Tak. Więc i tu nie wejdą, tak? Nie no, w tą środę niedziemski już nie, następną. To chyba logiczne, że jak dzisiaj złożysz zamówienie, to raczej ci dzisiaj nie przyślą. Ale cena ta sama. Jestem prawie pewny, że Amazon, że XCOM sprowadza z magazynów Amazonu. Ktoś obserwuje cię z wewnątrz. Chodźmy zobaczyć kto. To by było to mieszkanie? Czerwony komandos. Kto mnie mógł obserwować? Są buty.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
Moim obowiązkiem jako policjanta jest zbadać każdy zakątek tego świata.
Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
Manewr z Jamrock. Generator daty urodzenia, biała żałoba. Gliniarz apokalipsy. Królestwo sumienia. Wszystko jest ciekawe. Białą żałobę jeszcze bym zinternalizował, ale na razie trzymam punkty. Bo chcę się przekonać.
You hear someone walking around inside,
Zapukaj
rearranging the
ponownie.
furniture. A poor communard from
Policja
the
proszę
looks of it.
otworzyć.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a watch?
Let's go.
Later then, entering this door,
Dobra. Chodźmy do Werling. Pozbędziemy się Kima. Ogólnie to zredukowałem trochę ilość questów, ale nadal niewiele wiem. Założył od razu za pamięci muszkę z bonusem dla dramaturgii. Sytuacja ze słuchawkami, no bez zmian nieziemskich. Nadal, sorry, ale rozjebany kabel się nie naprawia sam. Znaczy kabel, jakby to był kabel, to by było pół biedy. Rozjebane gniazdo. Co jest zabawne nieziemski, bo zaczęło się jebać dosłownie chwilę po tym, jak powiedziałem ci, że nie ma szansy, żeby ci się kabel rozjebał w słuchawkach. Przecież to zdarzy się bardzo rzadko. Who the fuck is this?
Can I help you?
Guard, znalazłem nowego ptaka dla Werling.
What is this thing?
Nic szczególnego, po prostu myślałem, że będzie dobrze wyglądać na ścianie. Taki już ze mnie glina.
What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you.
people just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
Gart, muszę zaśpiewać teraz karaoke.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
To mój sposób na przeprosiny za kłopoty, jakich narobiłem. Proszę, pozwól mi powiedzieć przepraszam.
By causing more trouble, I think we're good.
To część mojej podróży w celu samopoznania. Pomóż mi.
The Whirling's not a charity or a musical therapy clinic. It's a commercial establishment. You're going to scare away the customers.
Tak, ale Johnny Sprawiedliwy musi dać upust smutkowi.
The Whirling doesn't need more sad style. That's one of the styles it can do without right now.
Po co wam w ogóle system nagłośnieniowy, skoro nikt go nie używa?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
Wielka katastrofa karaoke. To nie jest tylko dekoracja. Nie, co się stało w 1944 roku?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
To nie jest tylko dekoracja, jest dla twoich klientów. Wiem, że go używają.
Okay, yes, it's for some clients.
Jestem prawdziwym klientem, zapłaciłem rachunki, mam prawo użyć maszyny do karaoke.
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
To nie szkodzi, mam ze sobą własną piosenkę.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard.
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
Woohoo!
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself. Oh yeah, time to do the damage.
Czujesz się dobrze, to twoje miejsce.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
28%. Boostujemy dramaturgię. 42%. Przesuń usta do mikrofonu, sprawdź, czy działa.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it?
Rozejrzyj się najpierw po pomieszczeniu.
The dining hall has cleared up of customers for tonight. Even the kitchen is closed, and someone has turned down the lights. Maybe it's a good idea to do it in the dark like this, almost after closing hours.
Za blisko mikrofonu. Czyli niepotrzebnie to... skąd mogłem wiedzieć? Nie mogę się po prostu odsunąć. Patrz, kim będę śpiewał karaoke.
I can see that.
28% to się nie uda. Jestem gotowy, Gard. Włącz muzykę.
The air is thick
Wiedziałem, że się nie
with
uda.
anticipation. The tape clicks into the carousel, and then the music starts. God, a lump's in your throat suddenly.
I would often go there to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Sanson. Though it once was larger, how the real may rest there, down through the mist there, towards the Seven Sisters, towards those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there in the tiny yard there. I have been looking forward to the past year. But now you're all alone. None of this matters. At all.
Jesus. Ciekawe, jakby to wyglądało, gdybyśmy jednak mieli dobry rzut. Często tam bywałem w kościele jak pielgrzym. Większym niegdyś, dziś w Saint Sens. Najmniejszym. Strumień mnie kołysał. Mgła była okryciem u 7 sióstr tam, na klifu szczycie. Często tam siadałem, w ogrodzie gościć. Z radością kroczyłem pośród dróg przeszłości, przepraszam. Lecz teraz zostałaś tam sama, moja ukochana.
Did you hear that? The most pathetic applause in the world, made of pity, no matter the time of day or how small the audience. This is a pitiful applause.
Ja tu kurwa wyśpiewuję swoją duszą i to dla was jebańce. Za mało?
You hear, or think you hear, uncomfortable shifting around, a bit of laughter maybe. No one saying anything.
I'm gonna unplug.
Someone walks out of the room, by the front door. Some woman. Is it because of you?
Po prostu tam stój.
That's it. I'm unplugging it.
Let's go, officer. These people wouldn't know a good performance if it beat them in the ass.
A tobie się podobało?
Detective Dubois, it was downright tragic. Now, let's go.
I mean it, he thinks.
Odłóż mikrofon. Czegoś spodziewałem. Mogłem jeszcze siatkową bokserkę założyć, żeby sobie zwiększyć szanse. No nie. I szlafrok. O kurwa, ale wygląd. Wyglądam zajebiście dramatycznie. Ale nie wiem, czy to samo co dramaturgia. Chodźmy na górę. Odeślemy Kima. Skoczymy do klasy. Do zobaczenia rano. Do zobaczenia, Kim. Pa. Chodźmy do klasy. Ale czekajcie, najpierw wskoczył na chwilę do kibla tylko. Zaraz wracam. Dobra. Nie ma jej. Jak mogę ją zapytać, kiedy jej nie ma?
This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs.
Co ja mogę zrobić teraz? Może będzie na tarasie? Gdzie jest Klasie? Co ja mogę zrobić? No nic. Po pierwsze ubrać się normalnie.
The bed is still cold from the broken window.
Chodźmy spać. Co nam się przyśni ciekawe?
It's not easy, but your bones are so tired from what feel like weeks of work on the case. You have to try. After what feels like hours, you feel you might be sleeping.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
Recorded in you forever on Faraday.
Kręcącej się w wieczności.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
Ale co to?
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
Deszcz, śnieg, nie chcę zapominać, to piękne.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
Zgadza się, jestem agentem świata.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the money, baby. For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of World detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Robimy postępy. Miarowe, systematyczne postępy.
There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Czemu?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Poczuj poduszkę pod policzkiem.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the wind.
Otwórz oczy. Swoją drogą.
Good. You're up. Listen. There's something that's
Tak
been
mi
bothering
naszło.
you for a few days now.
Wizja trupa powiedziała nam, że zabiła go miłość. Ale co jeśli to nie chodziło o jego miłość do Klasie, tylko to, że Ruby była zakochana w Klasie i była zazdrosna, dlatego go odjebała? Co takiego?
It's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around here. Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, things only seem to be getting worse.
Zaraz, myślałem, że sprawy mają się całkiem nieźle.
Oh, sure. You've been making progress on your case, interviewing people, solving side tasks. But who's focusing on the big questions?
Zakładam, że takimi rzeczami zajmują się najlepiej wykwalifikowani i wykształceni ludzie.
But have you ever seen them? How do you know they're even there? More importantly, how do you know they aren't waiting for your participation?
I co miałbym zrobić?
You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité.
Czym dokładnie jest ta la responsabilité?
The most awesome, terrible thing. It is human nature to crave la responsabilité and to deny it. That's why it must be distributed across many different organizations, agencies, offices, and portfolios.
A to nie tak, że właśnie obarczam odpowiedzialnością za morderstwo?
Harry, you're thinking about this too narrowly. La responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's about the real issues, the human welfare index, the price of staple goods, the transition to real democracy.
Dobra, dawajcie ją. Ja wezmę tą odpowiedzialność.
Whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship. You can't simply seize la responsabilité for yourself. It must be given by a legitimate authority, like a committee.
I kto powinien zasiadać w tym komitecie?
Only the most even-keeled minds in Martinaise. Your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start. Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expertise to assign it among yourselves.
A co będzie, kiedy już obarczymy odpowiedzialnością kogo trzeba?
Most likely, your findings will be collected in a report, which will be carefully reviewed by your superiors. Once they've reviewed it, those same superiors will produce a set of recommendations to be taken up at the next meeting of the Standing Committee. Rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done through the proper channels.
Jestem gotów wziąć na barki ten straszny ciężar.
Good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated.
Stwórz komitet moralistów. O, ciekawe. No nic, jeszcze nie ma Kima. Kim jest na dole. Ale czy będzie już klasję? Bardzo lubię ten motyw muzyczny. Jest klasję. Dobra.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
97%. To się nie może zjebać.
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. See?
Wie pani co? Myślę, że to nie pani dokonała tego zgłoszenia na policję.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
Każdy może znać ten numer, czyjeś kaszlnięcie nic nie znaczy.
I can give you the time, too. It was late. After midnight. 12:20. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, but I am now.
You sense a little hesitation there, or maybe even fear. The stress was on the wrong syllable. Welcome to the Wake Up Club, brother.
Nie nazywa się pani naprawdę klasję. Amando, jeśli pani ucieka, nie podałaby pani prawdziwego nazwiska.
Okay.
Co no dobrze.
Okay, it's not.
Dobrze, może pani powiedzieć mi prawdę?
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
She's not lying now. She really is very tired. Her metabolism is failing her. The afterglow of whatever narcotics she's been taking is wearing off.
Ten paszport też była bzdura? Ten, co go pani ukrywa?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Claudia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Też jest fałszywe?
A fake passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name to hurt me.
Dlaczego?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
She fears an arrest right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her.
Gdzie jest ta boja?
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds. On the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
Zachód od promenady w trzcinach. Muszę się przyjrzeć tej boi.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here. Past a broken sewage pipe. Right near the waterline.
Proszę podać mi swoje prawdziwe nazwisko.
It's Katarzyna Lazie.
W końcu się poznajemy, Katarzyny. Lasie.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof.
Dość.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
Diablica.
What?
A gdybym powiedział, że jest pani aresztowana, Katarzyna Lassie?
You almost say the words, then stop. The lieutenant is off somewhere, 28 kilometers from here. Probably reading the manual for incarceration. The one he knows how to use. Come back and say this with Kim here. You can't handle it without him.
Zmieńmy temat, przynajmniej na razie.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger.
Tygrysa, jak my wyglądamy.
You are. This is not the end of this.
Skoro nie ma już tu Kima, to porozmawiajmy o niedzielnej nocy.
Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer.
Czy pani coś słyszała w niedzielną noc? Nie, najpierw zacznijmy od czegoś dramatycznego. Nim na stałe istniał jedynie pokój, odgłos powozu motorowego, para w łazience i mrok.
Wow. Mythopoetically adequate stuff.
She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording.
Czy pani coś słyszała w niedzielną noc w moim pokoju?
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music.
Miałem jakichś gości?
I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo.
Wspomniała pani o głośnej muzyce disco?
Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them. Oh, were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
Tak, zdecydowanie trwamy dalej.
I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace.
Co się stało?
A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of that time you were yelling along to it.
Śpiewałem to, pokaż jej puste pudełko po najmniejszym kościele w St. Sens.
Yes, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. And also...
Co jeszcze?
That it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it.
Przepraszam.
Don't be. I was going out later anyway. It didn't bother me.
Co się potem stało?
Then you started screaming and trashed the place.
Jest pani pewna, że nikt mnie nie zaatakował?
No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed, the tape player probably, the song stopped. And furniture too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out.
Działo się coś jeszcze?
There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. And that was it.
Dziękuję.
No problem, sir.
Wrócimy do tego później. Bierzmy się jak człowiek. Kto by pomyślał? Koszula. Tak. Zapodajmy sobie może krawat jednak. Trochę lepiej to wygląda. Wróćmy do Kima. Czyli jednak sami zrobiliśmy rozpierduchę. Znajdziemy tą boję, znajdziemy te dokumenty. Siema Kim. Teraz tak, po kolei powinienem skończyć studiowanie mojej odznaki. Gdzie ona jest? Tutaj.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man.
Bla, bla, bla.
You,
Numer seryjny.
some seaweed.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
Data wydania 7 listopada 50 roku.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
The pain in your chest tells you you were working yourself to death to earn that rank. The case created a lot of edge you have to take off. The death march really gets us going. A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you. Of that you are sure.
I remember that time! That was a good time. We had a good work-drink balance going. What happened, man? Pump it up!
Komisariat 41.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor. A lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
Co z nim?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva. the badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Schowaj odznakę. Zagadajmy.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Z naszym partnerem, który nie chce z nami gadać.
Yes? What is it?
Na pewno ci się podobało, co? Tak szczerze, to był pierwszy klas karaoke.
Okay. Yes. That was pretty good.
What? No. No. There are universal standards of good out there, and that was just complete shit.
Jean, he's not right. Treat him like you treat McCoy's little brother.
Może nie poszło tak dobrze, jak się spodziewałem.
You think so?
It was very nice. Different, but good kind of different. I liked it.
Dobrze, do widzenia. Jeszcze tego typu możemy zapytać.
Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous.
Hej.
Hi. So what brings you here?
A powiedz mi jeszcze raz o tym muskularnym facecie, który przyszedł przyjrzeć się miejscu zbrodni.
Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions.
Co mu powiedziałeś?
Nothing. That I didn't see anything.
I ci uwierzył?
Why shouldn't he?
Nie powiedziałeś mu o swoim przyjacielu?
What friend?
Twoim niedzielnym przyjacielu, świadku.
No, I don't think it came up.
Jak wyglądał?
Muscular, handsome, strong, like one of those military types.
Był sam?
Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece.
Słuchawkę w uchu?
Yes, you know those tiny speaker microphones that fancy security guards sometimes wear.
Co mówił?
Just reporting back whatever I was telling him.
Miał jakieś cechy szczególne poza tym, że był muskularny?
Oh, let me think. He had an accent. He sounded like one of those mercenaries. He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vaguely, scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranese.
Dziękuję za informację.
Sure. Anything else on your mind?
Co tu robisz?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer?
Mieszkam tu, mój pokój jest na górze.
Convenient. But
Spotkałem...
what are you doing here? Talking to me?
Spotkałem twojego niedzielnego przyjaciela.
You did? And how did you like him?
Miałeś rację, był magicznie biurokratyczny.
I told you he can be very useful. I guess that's the charm of powerful people.
Co właściwie łączy?
Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Friends who like to get together from time to time.
Niedzielny przyjaciel? Co to znaczy?
That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess.
To w ogóle jest przyjaciel?
It is. On Sundays.
Kim on jest?
A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, gendarme. He can always return.
Gdzie wrócić?
To his opportunities in Occident, sur la clé. Still, his coming and going brings some life to the village. Or is it just money? I don't know.
Czym był u ciebie w środku nocy?
He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean.
Nie chcę rozmawiać o innych ludziach. Chcę porozmawiać o tobie.
Hmm? What about me, gendarme?
Rzucam na opanowanie. Nosi się w jakiś niezwykły sposób. O co tu chodzi?
It's the sports. He's a sports guy. All about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here.
Tak. Siłownia, te sprawy, sport.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Tak, bardzo sport. Siema, Titus.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want?
Hej, co do tej skomplikowanej operacji z ciężarówki Ruby, jest chyba powiązane z inną sprawą, nad którą pracuję.
Nope. Next question.
Pójdę już. Dobra. I tak mamy progres. Dziwo. Czyli tak, gdzieś tutaj w trzcinie jest schowany paszport Ruby. Tylko pytanie, czy to z tej strony, czy na wybrzeżu? Wydaje mi się, że to z drugiej strony. Czyli wracam do wioski rybackiej, tam jest reszta śledztwa. Mówię, tego nie ruszę, bo Kuno nie gada ze mną. To jest po drugiej stronie wszystko. Podpisy też, Ruby jest we wsi. Na zachód od promenady na wybrzeżu. Chyba, że to gdzieś przy śluzie.
Yes?
Kim musimy porozmawiać o odpowiedzialności.
I'm glad to hear it, detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject.
Co masz na myśli?
If you ask me, it's high time for you to put the bottle away. Sober up, get back to basics. That would be my advice.
Zostaw mi chociaż papierosy, kim palą je tylko dla premii do statystyk. Nie, chodziło mi raczej o la responsabilité, no wiesz, taką odpowiedzialność, którą się komuś przydziela.
Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stability? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for?
Za morderstwo.
But isn't that our job?
Nie, to jest o wiele bardziej złożone. Wiąże się z tym cały wymiar spraw historycznych i socjoekonomicznych.
Now I understand. Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility?
Tak, dokładnie.
Fascinating. And here I believed your recent turn toward moralism was just an act. In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the Moral Intern's umbrella, but I'm certainly not qualified to serve on any committee. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villeudroit, the gentleman you met in the young man's apartment. If I were trying to get in touch with the Coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first you might need to speak with his young companion. Now, was there anything else?
Nieważne. A, czyli tak muszę wrócić do Werling i zapytać się sportowca. Ale może to zaraz. Chodźmy do śluzy. A wy to co?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Aha.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
Krzysiu, nie będę tego sprawdzał. Ale z tego co pamiętam, jak odpaliłem grę i nie miałem odpalonego jeszcze streamer moda, to lektor cenzurował to słowo.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Ktoście wy.
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Mocny dialog. Kim są czachy?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
Tak się ucieszył, że pytasz.
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Niewerbalne?
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
Aha.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
Wiecie coś o morderstwie, które miało tu miejsce?
Murder?
Na podwórzu Werling-Rax powieszono człowieka.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged.
Coś jeszcze?
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Co to niby znaczy?
Fucking philosophy, man. You can do aggressive shit with philosophy. Justify shit.
Like murder, or wasting your life away.
Znacie Cindy Czachę, chłopaki?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
Odd. There isn't a hint of hate in them. It's like they're piss and fuck the world out of some kind of moral obligation. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Czemu w Martinez nie ma więcej czach?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are.
Kim jest Van Eyck?
Old man, it doesn't matter. You'll be long gone before his greatness is recognized.
A young woman kneels on a sheet of ice, as if looking for something lost ages ago. She bends until her right ear touches the frozen water. She listens to it crack, slowly.
Twierdzisz, że jestem stary?
Yep, old as fuck.
Yeah, man. It's like at death's door. No wonder you know nothing about the future. You won't be there.
Jakoś niejasno gadacie. To jesteście tymi czachami, czy nie?
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
I czemu myślicie, że ich organizacja was przyjmie?
Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
You'll see for sure once we're in. It's the last thing you'll ever see before the void consumes you.
You don't feel very scared.
Jesteś pewny, że coś takiego powiedziałaby czacha?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're only saying practice things for now, so we don't mean no harm to the Skulls brand, or to you.
This is definitely something the Skulls would say, but we're not trying to encroach on the Skulls brand in any way. On the contrary, we're just here to market it.
Czyli wy tylko udajecie, że jesteście tak parszywi i okrutni jak czachy.
Hey, we could be just as hard. Like pavement on top of pavement, or a brick on top of another brick.
Or a grave on top of a grave.
These kids have the vocabulary, but might be missing a brain.
Dość już zatem o tej czechowatości. O co chodzi z tymi kurtkami?
What about them?
Czemu na twojej kurtce jest napisane
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
Jesus. Jaką ideologię do tego dopisał? Co?
What I mean by this is, we are all piss and that the world is inherently meaningless.
Czemu na twojej kurtce jest napisane w chuj z tym?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it. To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though,
Wysadzaj.
you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Boże, kurwa. Jacy pozerzy. Kiedy wkładasz chuj we wszystko, nie wkładasz go w nic. Wsadzać chuj w nicość.
Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Hej, Kim.
Yes?
Myślisz, że to zbieg okoliczności?
What is?
Nas jest 2, te kurtki też są 2.
What are you implying?
Wiesz, do czego zmierzam.
No, I don't. What are you implying?
Jesteś bardziej typem czy w chuj z tym owca?
Neither.
Daj spokój, Kim. To tylko intelektualna zabawa.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two statements.
Dla mnie spoko. Ja czuję się bardziej jak w chuj z tym owiec.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Poproś o kurtki dla siebie i porucznika.
No, no, no. Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. The boys dream about being skulls. Use that.
Chłopaki z takimi kurtkami nie siłoby życie, a będą z was królowie czach.
What? No! Skulls don't have kings. I think. And we're not even in yet.
Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take it lightly when folks pretend to be them. We're not even prospects yet.
Nie jesteście nawet rokującymi, a już kombinujecie, jak zostać królami?
Wow, you boys are ambitious. Only prospects and already planning a coup in the skulls. You're destined to go far.
He gets it. Passive-aggressive flattery.
Shut the fuck up. Are you trying to get us killed?
Now bring it to the jackets and, yes, start shouting.
Tak, my też chcemy być zajebistymi zabójczymi czachami jak wy, ale nie mamy czachowych kurtek.
Please be quiet. What? What do you want? The jackets?
You got it. No need for cruelty.
Ot tak dajecie nam swoje kurtki? Niegrzecznie byłoby odmówić.
Oh, man. Okay. I get it. Skulls don't really wear slogans anyway. This was stupid.
Fuck.
The lieutenant watches the boys take their jackets off with mild amusement.
Odwróć się do Kima, skoro mówili, że podoba ci się ten napis o pszczy. To ja wezmę tę drugą.
I'm absolutely okay with not having either one, thank you.
Czemu? W końcu są 2. Można by urządzić niezłą rozwałkę, działać pod przykrywką, na grubo.
This case doesn't require us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jackets will be useful at all. I just wanted them to not have them anymore.
Cold-hearted cop.
Niemniej dobrze wiedzieć, że mamy takie 2, w razie gdyby zaszło potrzeba.
The need will not arise.
I don't know, Eric. It's cold out.
Yeah, let's get out of here. The cops fucked us.
Czy te kurtki mi się przydadzą? Czy mogę założyć kurtkę? Z bonusem do dramaturgii. A, ocenzurowane imię na kurtce. Fuck the world. A, niechcący zdjąłem spodnie. To było akurat niechcące. Dobra, co dalej? Niedzielny przyjaciel. Wracamy do sportowca z Werling.
Hi again, gendarme.
Muszę porozmawiać jeszcze raz z twoim niedzielnym przyjacielem. Chodzi o sprawę komitetu.
Oh, a committee. How interesting. And if I may ask, gendarme, what is this committee about?
Chodzi o przydzielenie la responsabilité.
God, of course it is. My friend is always trying to convince me I need a little more responsibility, as though I don't have enough going on already. In any case, I would love to help. But the thing is, I don't know where he is. We don't talk about everything, you see. He might have mentioned something about making a tour of some historical sites up the coast. In an unofficial capacity, of course.
Wiesz, kiedy wróci?
Not a clue. I'm not his agenda keeper, you see.
No to będę musiał poszukać go gdzieś na wybrzeżu.
I guess you will. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Bye bye. To biegniemy drugą stronę. Możemy się udać fast travelem. Nie, to nie ten dom. Praczka coś ukrywa.
The old woman still hums her unknown song. She opens her eyes to acknowledge your presence.
Ten darmowy pokój to wciąż jest dostępny.
Change your mind, did you? I thought you might. Won't find a better deal than free. Don't make this old woman regret giving the police the key to her house. Here.
Mam podpis Lilian. Podpisze pani teraz dokumenty?
Lillian should let her sword make her decisions. The girl just doesn't have the head for it. Either way, I won't sign.
A więc to była próba.
Lillian's not the only one who's too trusting.
Co ma pani przeciwko związkowi?
I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men promises they never plan to keep. Then the poor get pushed out of their homes and the rich get a little richer. That's the way it goes. So, no, I don't trust the fat man, and neither should you.
To ja wiem. Przekonaj ją, żeby podpisała dokumenty Wrarta.
It's really in her best interest to listen to you. You know how the world works.
Isabel, musi pani zrozumieć, że okolicy ten projekt budowlany jest potrzebny.
I've heard that pitch before plenty. Building this, building that, new jobs, new blood. Somehow the people here always end up holding the short end of the stick.
Trzeba wykazać się sprytem, przeczytać drobny druczek, myśleć z wyprzedzeniem, szukać możliwości.
And what do you think I'm doing right now, Mr. RCM?
Tastes like soap, unsurprisingly.
Do you know who takes the cream off these deals? Real estate developers, construction companies, restaurant owners, clerks, accountants in La Delta. Have some integrity. You're an officer of the law, not some fat slug's corrupt little crony.
It's okay. She's emotional right now. Keep at it. We're her out.
Do widzenia, idę stąd. No cóż, mogę teraz tutaj wejść.
The door has seen better days.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement and look for any signs of Ruby. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now.
Czyli w sumie i tak musiałem się przenieść, bo tu mogły być ślady.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum.
Słuchaj.
The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're inside, and it feels safe and warm.
What is this place to you?
Możliwym schronieniem dla poszukiwanej, otoczym.
Waves crash onto the beach, drowning the reeds. Far to the south, a congregation gathers to a soup kitchen in a shelter for the homeless. An old woman gives out knitted scarves for free. Far to the southeast, 2 men and a woman dress themselves in ceramic armor. A shortwave radio hisses on the windowsill. One makes a salute, the other downs a drink. Weapons under the bed. A middle-aged man stands in a rundown shack on the edge of a fishing village. Nothing nods. No one salutes him. No sight of the fugitive.
Dziękuję, dziwne uczucie, za uczciwą ocenę bieżącej sytuacji.
Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Look under the floorboards.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Odsuń deskę.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
Co tu jest?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
Przeszukaj piasek i trociny.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper.
Co to takiego?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet.
Kula, ciekawe.
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Możemy się ogolić, ale najpierw zbustuję koordynację. Coś miałem na to, tylko nie pamiętam co. Płaszczyk. Miałem chyba rękawiczki. Ale mogę się mylić. Chyba że to te, które mam na sobie. Nie. Chyba tylko płaszczyk mi pomoże. Ale to będzie fail. Chyba sobie nie podetniemy tętnicy, co?
A rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Czy to golenie się jest właściwą decyzją?
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic. You'll be looking like a pansy without the chops. A fucking pansy.
Czas się ogolić. Pozbądź się tych bokobrodów. 58% szans.
Your hand trembles as you scratch your cheek. Oh no, that's not how a grown man shaves.
Na razie daj temu spokój.
Thank God, I would have cut your throat. The centipede is exaggerating. People don't actually cut their own throats when they're shaving. At least, not accidentally. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression.
Zanurz się głęboko w swoim umyśle, aby znaleźć źródło miny.
Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now. The bed is comforting.
Jeszcze nie czas na odpoczynek. Czyli znaleźliśmy pocisk.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Czym pod podłogą pani chaty znajdował się nabój?
Damn that girl.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
Wynajął jej pani pokój?
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
Kiedy to było?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into?
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Mówiła pani, że wyruszyła w poniedziałek.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock I think.
Pokój jest dokładnie w takim stanie, w jakim go zostawiła?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Było w nim coś jeszcze?
No,
Ruby, jak ona jest?
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
This Ruby is an old lady whisperer. She knows how to work the village elder, unlike you.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
Co ma pani na myśli?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
She wanted to talk to her, as they usually do, but she was brooding.
Dlaczego pani zdaniem zostawiła ten nabój?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
Znam chyba możliwe wyjaśnienie.
Do tell.
To wyjście awaryjne
Exit from what?
z jej życia.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter, like you sometimes get, son.
Miała ze sobą jakiś techniczny sprzęt, radio albo coś podobnego?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
Gdzie teraz jest?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north. You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
No to ruszam dalej wzdłuż brzegu.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
No, you can do it. You still have plenty of juice in you before you drop. Behind the cinder block houses, old pre-war ruins rise to the sky like dark palaces. The wind calls.
Mam jeszcze kilka pytań o Ruby.
What more do you want to know about
Dobra,
that woman?
nie ma nic
Yes,
nowego.
let's hear those other questions.
Do widzenia, idę stąd.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
No proszę. Czyli jednak... Jeszcze miałem pogadać z pijakami po tym, jak znajdą samochód.
Tequila Sunset.
Idioto w spirali katastrof. Jestem gotowy. Ujrzałem to jasno. Opowiedz mi historię o Tequila Sunset.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
The Legend. Zaraz, my się spotykaliśmy w piątek?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, that's totally your style. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
No tak, zrobiłem taki co?
Hey man, I'm not judging. This life's a valley of woes. Some of the highest concept people in history have killed themselves. And been drunks. Either way, it was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, got our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling.
Oh, yes, you do, Bratushka! The only thing better than that is putting the pedal to the metal after you kiss the tie. And off we go!
One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturalnie.
Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic.
Nigdy nie lekceważ szybkości alkoholika.
What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs. The time hath come! So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, the time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things.
Wszystko, co mówiłem, to prawda. Tequila Sunset zniszczy krosny, na których tka się rzeczywistość.
Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and plowed right off the jetty and through the ice.
Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
Zaraz, to Tequila Sunset to wydarzenie czy imię?
I think you said that you were the event, and that you would smash the looms of reality. Yeah, I knew I'd heard that looms line before.
Tequila Sunset, co? Brzmi całkiem nieźle.
Yeah, I agree.
Jak długo imprezowaliśmy?
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
Ach, mówiłem coś konkretnego o tym kimś, kto mnie wdymał?
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Please, don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail! It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Wspominałem o utracie czegoś jeszcze?
Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
Mówiłem coś o moich kolegach z pracy?
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
It's more like you were cramping theirs.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show.
Mówiłem coś o śledztwie?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Rozmawialiśmy o polityce?
Yeah, you said that it was okay that you crashed your carriage because the spectral hand of the market was guiding you. This was before you started talking about how the pinkies were always trying to fuck you.
Dało się jakoś wywnioskować, jakim rodzajem policjanta jestem?
You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop and for the damage you've inflicted on everyone around you. You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid."
Usłyszałem już wszystko, co chciałem.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
Widzieliście może ostatnio w okolicy rodu kobiety imieniem Ruby?
Can't really remember seeing any women after losing.
Dobra, czyli nie powtarzę to, co było.
He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
Wyglądasz mi na kogoś, dla kogo umiejętność opowiadania jest centralną charakterystyką. Może powiedziałbyś mi kiedyś coś jeszcze?
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum.
Tak, opowiesz mi, jak zostałeś idiotą w spirali katastrof?
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture is so incredibly familiar.
Chcesz grzału, co?
I don't want it, man. I need it. Can't tell stories without it. Dry stories are boring, you see? So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
Mam tu pysznego, czerwonego komandosa.
Classy.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Don't call Abigail!
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
Czekaj, ilu ludzi dla ciebie pracowało?
22 full-time employees, an all-star team, A potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours.
I jogging pomagał?
It did. With my trusty Sansariq tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
Co się stało?
One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
Jak mokro dokładnie?
It was a day not unlike this one here. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
Nic nie mów.
Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
No dobra, i co się stało potem?
I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
Heavy is the head that...
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
Zaraz i tu już? Mam wrażenie, że coś tu pominęliśmy.
Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me, so they tossed me in jail for 2 days. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen.
Zdajesz sobie sprawę, że to wszystko twoja wina?
I don't remember you being such a dick before, Tequila. That doesn't mean you're wrong, though. Anyway, that was all the tale one bottle gets you. Almost empty, this one.
Do zobaczenia. No, ciekawa odpowiedź. Zmyślona, ale ciekawa. Dobra, ale dzisiaj na tym poprzestaniemy. I nie wiem, czy zrobiłem progres, czy nie. Nie wiem nic. Wiem coraz mniej o tym śledztwie. Wiem, że trzeba znaleźć Ruby. I w sumie na tym kończy się moja wiedza. Ale tu nic, zaśpiewaliśmy karaoke. Znaleźliśmy odznakę, samochód. Jest spoko. Także na dzisiaj to tyle. Trzymajcie się i do zobaczenia jutro. Hej.